Good morning.
We're back in person.
We are back in the studio.
You're COVID free.
I am so much better. That was rough.
No joke.
No jokes here. That was actually pretty rough, but I'm good. Back.
I'm happy to hear that you're healthy and here in person.
Yeah.
First off, where did you go to brunch yesterday? I saw on your Instagram you looked like you were somewhere fancy.
That was Anthony's in Gig Harbor.
Okay.
And they are. So just a little shout out to Anthony's. It's their 50th anniversary. Right?
Okay, cool.
And it was so funny because the lady sat us down and she's like, did you know it's our 50th anniversary? And we're like, no. She's like, okay, well, we're doing an all you can eat Dungeness crab for $50. And we were like, that's amazing. And then our waitress came and Allie immediately, it was just me, Chad, and Allie. She was like, I want crab. And we're like, okay. So the waitress came and we were like, so tell us a little bit more about the crab. And she's like, oh yeah, that's in the evenings starting after 3 p.m. And we were there for brunch. It was like noon. And I just thought it was hilarious.
Yeah.
This lady sat us down and was like, this is an amazing deal. You can't have it.
Oh my gosh. They're just that's a
They're
tease.
like, so come back in a couple hours.
Yeah.
No, it was just such a pretty, I just feel like this whole weekend was beautiful.
Amazing.
It's out on the water and you look over like the boats coming in and out, cool. And it was just so pretty. So,
nice. Love Anthony's. I went there growing up quite a bit.
Yeah.
It's great.
Yeah. It's great.
We've spent a good amount of time together the last week.
This week and weekend.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Should we go week first?
Okay.
Okay. So what did we do was it Thursday that we played?
Thursday.
A little escape room.
We did Zookeeper.
Yes. So a little background.
Yeah.
So Cityscape Games is our escape room here in Tacoma on South Tacoma Way.
Right.
I'll go a little further background than that. So my family loves doing escape rooms.
Yeah.
Have you done many escape
rooms? Not a ton. Okay. I've done a handful. Cool. I love them. I love like puzzles, riddles, escape rooms.
Yeah.
Like that's my jam.
Yeah. I've probably done 30 to 40 escape rooms. A good amount, which compared to Daniel's our escape room manager, he's done like over 200. So he's on another level. But so my family's been doing them for a while. Yeah. Whenever we go travel together, we'll try to find one. We're actually going to Mexico next week, and I think we have one in Cancun we're going to try to do, which would be fun.
Oh my gosh, I love it.
But we've been doing escape rooms for a while, and we've had a desire to start an escape room.
Yeah.
And we met this guy Daniel at an escape room in Arizona,
right? And
kind of hit it off with him, and got his phone number, and kind of stayed in touch over the last couple of years.
Yeah.
And then we had a spot here on South Tacoma Way that felt like a perfect building for an escape room.
Right.
So Isaac reached out to him, and he moved from Arizona all the way up to Tacoma, and
it's actually amazing.
Yeah, and he's been working with us for almost, I think, around a year. Yeah. And he built the first escape room, Rockstar, which is like backstage at the Tacoma Dome. Mm-hmm. And then this second game, Zookeeper, is opening officially today. Today's the big grand opening day.
That's right. Okay.
And this is basically like zookeeper training. So you act like you're a zookeeper, and you do all these puzzles and learn how to feed the animals and stuff. So
and he creates everything.
Yes.
From the actual puzzles to the props used in them.
It is incredibly creative and detail oriented. And he has a brain that I don't have for sure. And it's remarkable. We played it on Thursday. Yeah. We got to test it out before the grand opening day. And I was just like so impressed.
I was too.
Yeah.
To me, this was the perfect combo of it was challenging. Like there were times we needed a little bit of help, but it also made so much sense and went so well. Like there's times I've done escape rooms and we're constantly like, hint, give us a hint. Like you're just, there's no, like you have no concept of where to start, where to go next. What. I just loved the way that this was set up.
That's a really great point, actually. Yeah. A lot of times you walk into the room, you're like, where the heck do I even begin right now? But it was very obvious where to begin on this one.
Yep.
And it wasn't easy. Like the puzzles were challenging and but it was so well done.
And the fact that you're in one room the whole time.
Yes. Go ahead.
Well, and just that the way he uses the space was so creative. I felt like, I don't want to give too much away, but I just felt like every puzzle we did was totally different and unique and just, I don't know. it blew my mind, to be honest with you.
One of the challenges of this specific room was the size of it. So most escape rooms, you'll have multiple rooms that you're kind of going between, which Rockstar's that way. You have 2 or 3 rooms. We have 2 more games planned that will both be the same way. So the third game will be bigger than the first 2. It'll have multiple rooms. It'll be I think the third one is going to be like the octopus underneath the Narrows Bridge. That was kind of the theme of it. So all 4 games are all going to be themed around Tacoma, which is part of the name Cityscape Games. Like we try to celebrate our city. And the hope is that we're able to actually expand into other markets and similarly create games that are based around this history or the you know what's well known about that specific city. So we're starting in Tacoma, and this is a business that really feels like we could expand into other markets.
And, for sure.
One of the cool things with this is we're providing, you know, a little bit of guidance for Daniel, not very much, like a little bit. We're like, we want it to be Tacoma themed. We agree collectively on what the themes of each room are going to be, but beyond that, he's had pretty much complete creative control to do whatever he wants with the game, because we trust that he'll do a great job. And so when I did on Thursday, I knew a few small details, but really not a whole lot. Like I had to approve a couple purchases for things. So I knew about some of the little things, but really had no idea like the bigger, you know, I really walked into it pretty blind, and it was incredible. So
I love that when you like, I really didn't know what to expect, and I was so pleasantly surprised that to me was like, okay, I'd do it again.
100%. And
I want to go back.
That was part of the purpose for this specific game, Zookeeper, was for it to be a good first timer escape room. So good for families, good for date nights. So this is kind of the gateway drug into escape rooms. And then someone who could play Rockstar after that, and then our 3rd and 4th games after that. So
I'm so excited.
It's gonna be. I'm excited too. I'm like ready to play the 3rd game, but I gotta be patient for a little bit. So
give him some time.
Talked to Daniel this morning, and he agreed to do a little discount code. So
I love this.
Any of our listeners who want to play Zookeeper, if they use the code podcast20, they'll get 20% off their tickets.
You guys, this is like our first semi-sponsor.
There we go.
Daniel.
So podcast20 for 20% off your tickets.
20.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. So Zookeeper's opening today. Rockstar's still open, so you can play both games, and great for groups, team events. You know, the podcast team building.
I mean, it suits everybody.
So that was a blast.
I love it.
Thanks for playing with me last week.
That was so fun.
I feel like we did well together.
We did really well. I will say, neither of us really, I don't want to be like, we could have done it faster. But we were just so enjoying it. I felt like, but because I felt like afterwards we talked to so many people at the office, and they were like, their time was better.
If anyone's listening that beat our time, just know we could have.
If we really wanted to, you guys, we could have like crushed it.
I'm sure they'll say the same thing, that they could have gone faster.
Anyways, is that your guys as a family? Is that like motivation? Are you guys like, we're doing this for time?
Usually, yeah.
Okay.
For this one specifically, like you said, I was really just kind of taking it all in, and like all the props and stuff. I was like, holy cow! There were several times throughout this, I'm like, wow, like this is so stinking cool.
100%.
So, but escape rooms are fun. It's been a fun business to like get to learn a little bit about. It's interesting in that, other than, you know, people playing all of your different games you offer, it's not really something. I feel like most businesses out there are looking for a lot of repeat customers, which we can have repeat customers only to a certain extent. So somebody can play the first game, like for when we just launched, or when we were just launching the second game, we're reaching out to pretty much everybody who played the first game, saying, hey, the second game's open, and there's already a lot of demand and interest for the second game, which is cool. But after somebody's played all of our games, it's like, there's not really that they're done. So it's an interesting kind of business model that we've been trying to figure out, is how to continue creating demand. Whereas in other businesses we've done, a big strategy is trying to create like that repeat business over and over and over again, which there's a little bit of that with this, with playing all the different games, but it's really creating like new demand all the time.
That is so interesting. I like, that makes sense. I was thinking when I did Rockstar, the other room, it's been so long, I actually could probably go back, and I did it with a lot of people. And I was a little bit like, I probably wouldn't remember most of it.
I want to do it again with a couple friends that haven't done it yet. But
that's so fun. Okay.
So that was Thursday.
Yeah.
How was your weekend?
How was my weekend? I actually had a great weekend. It was pretty busy. It's my friend Denise's birthday. Cool. So another shout out today.
Happy birthday, Denise.
Happy birthday. My phone calls her Dan Easy. Because the way her name is spelled.
Dan Easy?
Dan Easy.
That's amazing.
Siri calls her Dan Easy. So we celebrated her on Friday night. We went to another new business called the Powder Room.
Cool.
I don't know if you've seen that down on Stadium District area. It's like a little champagne and cocktail bar.
Oh, cool.
Really caters to the ladies. Like it's very girly and just, I mean, they come and they bring you lots of pink. They bring you like friendship bracelets.
Cool.
I mean, it was pretty cute.
I think this is the year of the girl with
it's happening. It's very girl power right now.
With Taylor Swift and Beyonce and a Barbie movie and I love it. Yeah. Great. Girl power.
Girl power. So we did that and then afterwards we went to a comedy club. The Super Funny Comedy Club. Have you heard of this?
That's the name of it?
That's the name of it.
Was it super funny? Did it live up to the name?
Here's the thing.
Are we doing honest reviews here?
No, it's great. It was funny. It's good. It was good. It was like.
Are you into comedy in general?
Well, that's the thing. I think I'm funny at times. And so I sometimes struggle with comedy.
Because you think you could do it better.
I didn't want to say it, but I'm just kidding. No, I don't know. I also, it felt like there was a little bit of a theme in the comics jokes that were just a little uncomfortable for me.
Yeah.
And that was like just on repeat the whole night. And I'm like, every once in a while it's fun. And I'm not like a prude. I'm not like, oh my gosh, I can't believe he said those words.
Yeah.
But it's kind of when it's the same thing over. Anyways.
100%. No, I'm right there with you. I feel like almost every comedy show I've been to in my life, which isn't a lot, but probably a dozen comedy shows.
Yeah.
Almost all of them have been like some combination of racist or sexist or overly sexual or like just there. I feel like there should be more comedians that can be funny without having to resort to those different things. And
that's my thing.
Yeah.
So at the end of the day, it was still really fun and the place was great. The service was great. So it was, I would go back again for sure. And the person who headlined wasn't supposed to headline. He kind of, I think somebody bailed. And so he came in and covered,
was it stand-up comedy or was it like,
yes.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
That is my worst fear.
No, honestly.
I think there's nothing else I'd rather do less than stand-up comedy.
And they like, the other part is as an audience member, when they call people out.
Yeah.
That's my nightmare.
Oh yeah. The like, crowd work.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So yeah, that was my Friday.
So something I realize I'm really bad at is
crowd work.
You know what? I think I'm actually decent at like emceeing, like moderating a thing, an event. I really enjoy that. Yeah. But cracking jokes, like when you're doing stand-up comedy, people go into it with the expectation that this person's going to make me laugh. I like doing little casual things where it's like maybe they're
like, oh, that was clever.
Oh, yeah, that was exactly. Yeah. So I don't, when people have an expectation that I'm going to be funny, that I don't want to have to disappoint them.
So I was listening to her name's Jen Hatmaker, and she was talking to Tom Papa, who is also a. Is that how you say his name? I just like said it out loud. Like, is that right? He's a comedian.
Okay.
And she, I guess, dabbles. She's a writer is what I know her from. But they were saying when it comes to comedy, when you are in front of people, and you are like stand-up comedy, you know if you succeeded or not immediately.
Okay.
Whereas if you produce something that's like a drama or something that's maybe it's a film or I don't know, something that like, there you don't know necessarily if you've succeeded. If you deliver your joke and it's silent, you failed. Like it's like this immediate acknowledgement of whether or not you're successful.
Wow, yeah, because the emotion of the laughter is audible versus other emotions.
And she's done a ton of public speaking stuff. So it's like if she's telling a dramatic story and it's just quiet or people are thinking about it or receiving it. But if she's doing comedy and it's quiet, then that's a different story.
Interesting. Yeah. That's not, I don't think that's my forte, but what I'm also not good at is like sounds and voices. Like a lot of time, or accents, anything like that.
Oh,
like,
no.
I'll be able to hear it in my head. Like I'll be able to like visualize in my head what I'm trying to sound like. And it comes out sounding completely different.
Oh, I would never try that.
Yeah. So any sounds, any Yeah, a lot of people are really good at accents. Yeah, I'm not even going to try them. No. I'm not even going to attempt them going forward.
Yeah, I think last week you pronounced Lederhosen with an accent, and I felt
Lederhosen.
Yeah, see, nailed
it. That's the one word I can do. An accent.
That's the only one. Yeah. So yeah, that was my Friday night. How about what was your Friday?
Oh my gosh, I should have prepared Friday night. I know what I did Saturday and Sunday. Let me just do a quick check.
Review your notes. Let's see what happened.
Friday night was just, I think, a chill Friday night. We had
what I love is that you looked up your calendar.
Yeah. I can look at my calendar any day for the last 5 years, and I can tell you exactly what I was doing that day.
Do you ever... Okay, I need some more information because I know this about you, that you love the calendar.
Right.
If we have a meeting, you alter the times from when it started to when it ends.
Sometimes.
I feel like
really.
Most
I've tried to stop doing that, but yeah, sometimes.
So, for example, for people that are like, "What is she talking about?" If you and I had a meeting from 9:30 to 10:30, and we ended up going 9:45 to 10:45, I would get a notification after our meeting that it was the times have changed.
Yeah, it's an accurate representation of what actually happened.
So, but I'm curious, like, if you don't put in like, "Oh, I went to the grocery store," or
I do. Everything is on my calendar. The one exception is if I'm on vacation. So if you look at my calendar for the next week, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, the next 3 days are planned out every hour from 5 a.m. to 10 p.m. every hour. It won't exactly happen that way. Very rarely does a day happen exactly as I planned it.
Okay.
Usually I'm adjusting things by 15 minutes throughout the day, or something comes up, or a meeting's canceled, or whatever.
Right.
Like, I'm adjusting and I'm able to do that, but I pretty much have a plan. Yeah, everything's in my calendar. But Thursday we're going to Mexico, and Thursday through the end of the trip, my calendar's completely empty, and that's pretty much the one time when I don't use my calendar.
And do you feel? Does that give you any anxiousness at all, or is that okay?
Being on the vacation part?
The empty calendar.
No, I love
vacation.
it.
Okay, that's exciting to you.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm sorry. So, like, because here's the thing: you're driving along, and you're like, "Oh, maybe I'll just stop and get lunch here, or I'll grab What about spontaneous decisions?
There's room. I mean, so it depends on the day. So
make a spontaneous decision.
No. So what I used to do actually is I'd have a calendar event that was just like available. So that was time when I didn't have something planned.
Yes.
Then I realized, like, what's the point of that? So I just stopped including that calendar event. So there are the next 3 days. There's not. But if you're to look for the week after I get back from my Mexico trip, there's quite a bit of empty space in there. So everything that's planned out is there. So all my meetings, a lot of my workouts are already kind of planned, kind of thing. But there is a lot of empty space that I kind of can fill in throughout the day. Some days have more than others. So usually my meeting days don't have a lot of margin. There's Tuesdays specifically are crazy busy. Yeah. Every pretty much 30 minutes is planned out. But then Wednesdays I leave a little bit more open, and that's usually just like a catch-up day, work on big projects, that kind of stuff.
So let's say you had available space and you chose to go do some things. Do you then go back and put that into your calendar after you've done it? You do?
Yeah. I probably look at my calendar. This is funny, like the screen time thing. I probably look at my calendar at least 20 times a day. Like I'm constantly updating it. And that's definitely an OCD thing.
Okay.
For sure. But yeah, I don't know. I like having a plan, and I like just kind of.
But it's also record keeping. Like, I mean, that's pretty amazing.
Ask me, name a date. In the last 2 years.
24th, 2021.
October 24th, 2021.
I'm so excited.
All right, that was a Sunday. That was a vacation. I was on vacation, so I was in California.
November 16th, 2021.
Tuesday. Woke up at 5. Did CrossFit at 6. Morning routine from 7 to 8. Started working at 8. Walked to get coffee at 8:45. Worked on the STW experience and Santa Parade brainstorming from 9 to 10. Did some meeting next steps from the previous day. I volunteered at the Tacoma Rescue Mission from 11 to 2. Filmed a couple Beaker Collaborative videos at 2.
Oh my gosh, this is a busy day.
We went to the Tyler house at 2:30 to film a little video.
Okay.
Drove back to Seattle at 3. got home at 3:30, unpacked, changed, cleaned. 4:30, went on a walk, had a call while on the walk. 5 o'clock, caught up on emails. 6 o'clock, walked on the treadmill to finish my steps. Showered at 7, did some marketing stuff at 7:30.
What?
Had dinner and hung out with Brian from 8 to 11 p.m.
Wow. Should we do mine?
Yeah, it's definitely obsessive for sure. That's the O in OCD is obsessive compulsive disorder. Yeah, so it's definitely, I don't know if that's healthy that I do that, but it's
for the harm.
It's when I'm, well, I guess even yesterday I didn't work at all, but I could tell you hour by hour what I did yesterday too. Yeah. So I don't know. I just enjoy it. It's part of a part of life that I enjoy. Yeah, the record keeping. And,
so does it ever? It sounds like you still allow yourself to be spontaneous and to add some changes. I think where it could be is if Brian's like, hey, instead of this, can we go do that? And you were like, no, my calendar says we're doing this.
And that's definitely not the case. Yeah, I don't think there's been a single day in my calendar keeping life that I've had the exact plan and it's gone exactly according to plan. Like usually there's at least a few things that adjust throughout the day. Yeah. So yeah.
Interesting.
I think I've developed a healthier relationship with it, even though I still do it every day.
Okay. So, yeah. I don't have a calendar invite for our podcast.
That is interesting. It's on my calendar every Monday at 10 a.m. It's on my calendar. I know I should just send you the invite.
Me. I don't know. Every Sunday or Monday morning, I'm like, hey, what's the plan?
So do you know why? Let me talk you through why I haven't invited you. Yeah. So I have it as like a 2-hour time block from 10 to 12 because I have it as the time that we're filming together and then also the time that I'm like editing it and doing that stuff. Okay. So I haven't invited you because we're not together for that second hour usually. Okay. So that's the reason. But I see. What I could do is split it up into 2 where one is when we're together and then one is my editing time.
Sure. So. But also don't add more to your plate if you don't want to. Okay. So all that to say your Friday night was relaxed.
Yes. That's how we got to.
Because also when I saw you on Thursday, you said you weren't feeling 100%. I was actually worried, shoot, because I knew you had a big
Did you think weekend. You gave me your COVID?
I was like, I don't even know. Yeah. It came across the screen on Monday.
Yeah.
Okay, so should we move on to Saturday?
Yeah, so Friday we just kind of chilled, had dinner at home, did a little bit of cleaning.
Okay.
Saturday, that was our housewarming party day, which do you like putting on parties and events?
That's such a good question. Thank you for asking me. I will say it's such an emotional roller coaster for me. I am somebody, when we start talking about things, like for example, right now, my daughter Alice and her friend Jericho have been talking about wanting to plan a co-ed, some sort of Halloween party, which would be a first because they're middle school. And we're like, usually we're just girls. Yeah. We're just, and they're talking about doing this co-ed thing. And my mind is like swimming with ideas. Like I am like, we could do this decoration. We could have this competition. I'm getting all excited. Now, when it comes to actually executing it, I'll get overwhelmed and I'll be like, okay, this is becoming a lot. And then I'll start stressing. Like my house can't hold 20 children here. Okay. Like I'm getting nervous. And then I'll get super excited about the actual event. It'll happen. And then I'll probably sit and critique like all the things.
Yeah.
How did it go? How did we feel? Will they come back again? That's kind of how I party plan.
Okay.
I love hosting. Like I really, really enjoy. Sometimes I think I enjoy the planning and the prepping over the event at times.
I can see that.
And so I think, that's where I'm at right now.
That's really funny to me actually, because as much as we're different, I feel almost exactly the same as what you just described.
Okay.
And maybe that's just a party event planning feeling in general, but I feel like I simultaneously really, really enjoy hosting people and putting on events and also get really anxious and really have a heart. Like there's so many things that I put the pressure on myself. Yeah. Like I want, like if I get nervous that not enough people are going to show up. Yeah. That's always a fear I have. Any event that we put on for theory or any personal party that I throw, I'm like, what if enough people don't show up to this event?
Right.
That's one. 2, I think I mentioned this to you at our housewarming party. Yeah. I have this obsession with music and there being music playing.
You did mention this.
Yeah. And that's just in general in life. Like if there's people in a room, I want there to be music playing
100%,
because I want that vibe to be created. And for some reason, my speakers were having issues at our housewarming party and the music kept going off. Right. And so pretty much the entire party, I was like constantly like, why is the music off? And then I'd go back to my phone and I'd figure out how to turn it on. And it was just like this constant thing. Yeah. So that's another thing, like the music. And then I also, sorry, go ahead, respond.
Well, only in that I agree so much about music. And not only that there's music on, but that it's fitting the environment.
Yeah.
And what's funny, a couple weeks ago, I remember I was telling you we went and celebrated my friend's birthday and we were at this rooftop bar and we were like having these like in-depth conversations and she's giving these blessings over people, but the music's like,
oh yeah,
you know, it's like club music. And I'm like, this does not feel like it's fitting. But that's another part. It's like, not only is there music on, but it's appropriate for the experience that I'm trying to convey and the vibe that we have going on. So
I think music 100% decreases the chance of awkwardness in conversations. Like if you're having a conversation with somebody, especially if it's, you know, or anybody you're having a conversation with, there's those moments of lull typically. Other than us, we have just a constant flowing
not for us
dialogue.
We don't lull.
No. But most conversations, there's periods where it's like neither person has a follow-up question or there's not some next thing you're going to talk about, and there's always that period. But if there's music playing, not a big deal.
Right.
If it's silent, it feels like a big deal, and that silence can be deafening. Right. And so music, I think, just totally helps aid in that good overall feeling for a party.
Yeah, I agree.
So there's the people showing up, there's the music thing, and then I just feel this constant need to make sure that people are having a good time, especially if it's a party that I'm throwing.
Oh yeah.
So that's another thing. And then the fourth thing is like my OCD is really struggles, especially with parties at my house.
Okay.
So I was really trying to let it go at our housewarming party, but
in like what way? What was
our floors show dirt really easily, and I always want to be a house where people don't have to take their shoes off. Like I simultaneously want to be a welcoming, you know, you can keep your shoes on household, but at the same time our floors were getting so dirty and it was bugging me the whole time. So but I let that one go. I managed to get through the whole party without vacuuming or anything.
But you wanted to.
I really wanted to. Oh yeah. Gosh, so bad. And then I also really want to just be cleaning up throughout the party too. Yeah. And I used to do that, but now I have realized that makes people feel not the best. It makes people feel like they need to be helping clean up, or like that if I'm cleaning up, then maybe that's me saying that they should leave.
That's a social cue.
Yeah. So I tried to stop doing that. Yeah. And for the house, for this housewarming party, I didn't really clean up at all throughout, which was difficult for me.
Yeah.
But it thankfully it wasn't too much of a mess afterwards. So I was able to let that one go.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I really enjoy throwing these events and like, I love it. And I love hosting people. I love, you know, especially different groups of friends and people in my community coming together and meeting for the first time. I love that. So
do you ever struggle? Sometimes what gets me is because we did a big 4th of July one. That's kind of the biggest thing we've done recently. And the area that I have a hard time with is when you have so many people come, making sure that you interact with everybody appropriately.
Yes.
I feel like I really struggle. I can get caught up in a conversation with one person and then look around him. And because I know we talked about this a little bit earlier, our groups of friends don't always know each other, you know, and you're bringing all these different people together. So I'm like, oh, I want to make sure this person's connected to that person, or that I think about when I'm inviting people, who will that person talk to at the event? And so just trying to like think through that. And the funny part is like, we're all grown adults, you know, like people can make conversations like, but like the responsibility as the host of making sure that it's, I don't know, flows well.
Totally. And I think as humans too, we are, it's easiest to gravitate towards people that we know the best.
Yeah.
Like at our housewarming party, like my parents were there, my family was there, some of my best friends were there. So the easiest thing to do would have been just to spend most of the time talking to them, because that's just like that's the easy button or whatever. But what I've tried to do in the situations is actually, you know, obviously spend a little bit of time with them, but spend more time talking to the people that I don't see as often.
Yeah.
And then the people that I see all the time, like they're fine.
Yeah. Yeah.
They won't get mad if I don't talk to them enough, hopefully.
Right. No, I feel like that. And then to me, your housewarming party was nice because you also had the house to show people.
Right.
So there was like kind of not just, that is another thing. Sometimes Chad makes fun of me is like, I feel like we need some sort of activity or something that's like, don't just come here and like we all stand around. Like there's got to be a
game or a theme or something. Yeah.
Yes.
I totally agree.
Yeah.
We regretted. We wish we would have put up together like a slideshow of before pictures or something that we could have shown before. Because the transformation is crazy.
Unbelievable.
And Yeah, but it was a super fun party. Yeah. You guys came.
It was great.
Stella came.
Oh my gosh, Stella and Stevie.
I feel like in the past when we reunite them, it takes them maybe a little bit of time to warm up to each other. Yeah. Sometimes, not always.
I'm with you. Yeah.
But this time it was immediate. They were like, as soon as Stella walked in or came in, they were just like running together and so excited.
And your yard was phenomenal for them. I absolutely love watching them play together. Yeah. I felt like, and they were so cute. They would like get really excited and play, and then they would like just lay down and relax. Yes. And then they'd get back excited. Like it just all night long. Yeah. They were just so happy.
Did Stella sleep well that night?
Exhausted.
Yeah. Stevie was pretty much the whole weekend conked out.
I agree.
I'm wearing my Stevie socks today.
Oh my gosh. Where did you get those?
I think Brian's sister got these for us.
That is adorable.
It looks exactly like Stevie.
Did she design it like that?
No, I think she found these socks somewhere and they just happen to look like
I thought that was Stevie. One of those, I get those ads for like personalized gifts.
I did one year for Christmas. I got everyone in my family socks with their dogs on them.
But that's your thing?
Yeah. Socks.
Yes. Yeah.
I love it. Annual tradition.
Okay, Saturday for me. Should I tell you what happened with us?
Have you not already told me? Is this
Saturday?
Please tell me.
We'll talk about Friday.
No. I mean, I thought maybe you would have told me at the housewarming party if something big happened. Mm-mm. Okay, go for it.
Nothing big. No, sorry. Okay. I started that weirdly.
Did I tell you what happened?
Did I tell you? I went to the pumpkin patch, Austin.
Okay, nice. You look like you're going to the pumpkin patch today.
Very cold out today. It did not feel like fall on Saturday.
Yeah.
It felt like the dead of summer.
Yes.
And we were at a pumpkin patch and it was just Allie and her cheer squad.
Okay.
So it was so fun, but it was also so hot. It felt weird. I was like, this is a weird experience to be doing such a fall activity and wanting it to actually feel like summer.
Yeah. I would think about that when people like who live in Texas or California, because they still go to pumpkin patches, but it's it's warm. Like,
right.
It's
weird. We went to Spooner Farms out in Puyallup.
Okay.
And they have like a corn maze. Yeah.
They have the big, huge spider thing, right?
Yes. Okay. And they make out of hay bales, they do like multiple like giant creatures like that.
Cool.
It's really cute. There's animals, there's tractor rides, there's all sorts of stuff to do there. And then there's a bunch of food vendors. So we went, at one point we got food and we went to sit, it's like a covered area. So we're like, okay, at least we'll be shaded. It was 100 degrees inside. Wow. It was so hot. So we had to keep finding shade and relief, but it was crazy. I'm like, I can't believe this is mid-October in Washington.
It's crazy. We lucked out that it was hot that day because with our house, it's not big inside. So we were banking on being able to use the outside and it was perfect for like an outdoor barbecue kind of thing.
Yes, so. That was great. Because you guys love barbecues. You guys love
can you not call it a barbecue if there's not a barbecue present?
I just think it's great.
We had some barbecue chips.
Yeah, that's right. So that was the morning. And then we came to you guys in the evening. Yep. That was amazing. Piper ended up going home with your parents.
Saw that.
Did they show you the video?
No.
Okay. So Easton and Piper made a trailer. They'll call it a trailer of a movie. And it is hysterical. I can't wait to show you. But I just love that they hung out together.
Like on their phone, like on the iPad or something?
Your dad recorded it on his phone or something. And then they put the clips together.
Wow.
And
I wonder whose idea that was.
I guarantee I know it was my child.
It was Piper?
Oh, she loves making movies.
Okay.
It is like her favorite thing with a friend is to like make movies.
Were there props? Did they use the crutches?
There was costumes. The crutches were not involved, but there were some costume changes. I think the premise is Easton bought a house for some sort of YouTube challenge. Is what I got the gist of his character. And then Piper is actually some sort of burglar robber person who invades his house. Okay. It's a bit of a thriller.
Yeah.
It was a bit exciting. So it was just so cute. So we went and picked her up afterwards.
So she always enjoyed that kind of thing, or is it since you have been a movie star that she wanted to take after her mom?
Mom's footsteps. I feel like it is more recent actually that she started. She's got another girlfriend who they have been like whenever they're together, they continue to work on a movie.
Wow.
Like they've been doing. And then some maybe with her sister too. Like I know we've had just them and their girlfriends, and I think that's just a fun like activity to do is like make a movie.
Yeah.
So anyways, that was Saturday. Sunday, we went to church in the morning, and then Pipes had a birthday party out in Gig Harbor. So we dropped her off, and then we went and had brunch at Anthony's, which I had mentioned to you earlier. Such a beautiful day. Right there on the water. We did a quick Costco run, and then we picked her up from her birthday party, went home, put stuff away, crashed for a little bit, and then we went to Beer Star in the evening. Have you gone there?
Yeah.
Yeah. I love Beer Star.
It's cool.
I like, if to me, it's one of those places where we used to go when our kids were younger, and there was like stuff for them to do. There's always different food vendors there. You can get, all sorts of things on tap, or you can get, like, my friend and I got a bottle of wine.
Nice. There's usually games and stuff.
There's games, yeah. And there's a nice fire pit outside. It's one of those places I feel like we can go with anyone and everyone, and there's like something for everybody there.
Yeah.
So yeah, that was the rest of my weekend.
Nice.
How about you? What was Sunday like?
Sunday was good. So Brian spent the night at his friend's Michael's house Saturday night. Mm-hmm. So I want to talk about our screen time challenge in a minute, because I am failing hardcore at it, like, for sure. Saturday night, so he left to his friend Michael's house. It was probably 8 p.m. I think I sat on the couch from 8 p.m. to 11 p.m. scrolling through TikToks. That was all I.
But do you
for 3 hours?
Also, I imagine after the day that you had, that was a little bit of like a reprieve.
It was, it was definitely, it was good.
Yeah.
I haven't looked yet. I want to in a minute look at if you want to do it too. I don't know if you want to look at our screen times, like this last week versus the previous week.
Ooh, nope, I don't.
I think I've gone in the wrong direction.
I 100% know that I have, because I was sick, and so I was at home so much. Like, even up until like Thursday, Friday last week, I was still like struggling. Yeah. So maybe next week.
I do want to look at mine at least.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that was Saturday night. Sunday,
so he just goes to hang out at his friend's house.
Yeah.
Like,
they are big. It's like his best friend. They play a lot of video games together. So there was a new Harvest Moon video game that came out. So they were doing like a little game night.
I love this.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
So that was So he went over there, and then Sunday morning woke up, took Stevie on a walk.
Yeah.
And then Brian and I went to the gym together. He took me to his gym in Bellevue, which is very fancy.
So fancy.
Yeah. It's probably
Brian's really stepping it up in the gym game.
Oh my gosh.
He's giving Chase a run for his money with a bicep.
His arms are getting bigger.
I mean, more power to him.
Yeah. He's putting in the work.
Yeah.
So we did that, and then we went and got picked up, went to Metropolitan Market, got flowers for his grandparents, got a few of the cookie. You've had the cookie, right? Okay.
Of course
I would love to get sponsored by Met Market and not even get paid in dollars, just cookies.
100%. I actually, it's shocking how many places I would work for free for a discount.
Yeah.
I'm telling you what, I would do so much for just a little bit off of certain places. Yeah. Okay.
You've had the cookie.
I love the cookie.
Yeah. I had at least a cookie and a half.
Yeah.
Those are big boys. Those are big cookies.
Great.
Yeah, we brought cookies and flowers over to his grandparents' house, and then hung out there for a little while and had dinner. I was talking to Brian about this yesterday. All four of his grandparents have lived to their 90s.
It's amazing.
Which is absolutely mind-blowing to me. Like, the longevity is just crazy. Good genes.
It's unbelievable. Adults who still have grandparents, I have not had grandparents since I was in college.
Yeah.
It's been a long time for me. So that's always phenomenal.
Did you hear the 90s stat that we were talking about at the party? Okay, so I don't remember where the stat came from. Yeah. Don't fact check it. Anybody out there?
Don't ever fact check us, honestly.
I think the stat was statistically, people who live to their 90 years old, most of the time live until they're 95 years old.
Right.
So basically, like, if they're healthy enough to make it to 90, they're probably healthy enough to make it to 95.
Yeah.
Which I thought was kind of a crazy.
It is interesting.
It makes sense. Yeah. But because not that many people live to their 90s. I think the average lifespan's in the 70s or 80s. I don't even really know what it is.
I don't either.
I think it's getting longer over time and health advances and stuff, which are great. But I just thought that was amazing. So his grandparents are both in their mid 90s, and just got dinner with them and chatted and reminisced on their childhoods and trips they've been on, and super fun. And then we went and picked up Mexican food for dinner, and then got home, watched the morning show. Have you watched that?
So we've actually recently started that series.
Okay.
So we're only like a couple episodes into season 1.
It's a great show.
Is it?
Yeah. I think it gets better, actually. I think I really liked the first season, but this third season's out right now. It is phenomenal. Like, the amount of production that goes into every episode is absolutely crazy.
Oh, interesting.
And what I love about it is it follows like real life events that have actually happened. So it's obviously the morning show. It's like a news show.
Right. Yeah.
And a lot of the events are like actually a current event. So they talk a lot about COVID. They talk about a lot of the political unrest this last couple of years. The riots at the Capitol. They do a whole thing about that. Gotcha. So it's very actually looking at real things that have happened from like a news perspective, which is really cool. Yeah. So definitely recommend. Keep going.
Okay, I will. I forgot to mention on Friday, we also watched The Golden Bachelor again. Yes. So our friends, it comes out on Thursday evening, but we do the watch party on Friday.
Okay.
I'm at the point now, I'm so invested. I want there to be a golden season of every dating show there ever was.
Great idea. Yeah.
It is. Here's what I love is that these women are having these moments in their house, at an event, at a group date, and the things that they're struggling with are so real life based. Yeah. It's like one girl was upset because they were doing a photo shoot and she was in a wedding gown, and she was upset because the last time she put a wedding gown on was 30 plus years ago when she was getting married.
Yeah.
And so she's having a hard time, dealing with this, and everything that they talk about is just, it's seasoned life.
Right.
And it is
it's real.
It's real.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I am so here for this. So now I just feel like, listen, just can we put every reality show into a season of life that's actually like,
I love it. I hope it catches on. I think people that are in their 60s and 70s, they have that like level of maturity that all these other shows, when everyone's in their 20s, it's like they just, the things that they care about or complain about or fight about, it's just like such little petty things.
Well, and all the other series, a lot of it is like, those people specifically go on to build some sort of influencer lifestyle. Right. They all become like, I'm sorry, Edith is not here to become an influencer,
That's funny. Are the names of the women, are they all like older
Edith,
names?
Joan. I mean, it's so sweet. Yeah. So anyways, okay. That was
You're mentioning your Allison Jericho. There are none of those names on this show.
No, I mean, Alice is a little bit of an older.
Oh, that's
name,
true. That's true.
Like, but
Allison Piper. Yeah, I guess you do kind of. Is Piper an older name?
Piper, I think is newer.
Okay.
But
I think the older names are coming back.
Yeah,
like Opal.
A little bit.
Oh. My cousin's name is Hazel.
Yeah, that's really cute. Yeah. So I'm here for it.
Golden Bachelor. Okay. Is it the second episode?
As a second episode.
Okay, I'll catch up when we're at
an hour long, so you can easily catch up. Cool. It ends, and I'm like, I need more. I would like more.
So you're watching Golden Bachelor. Anything else like consistently you're watching? Started the morning show.
I started the morning show. Not a ton. I was telling you, Love Is Blind. Yep. I think I said Love Island last week. I meant to say Love Is Blind is my favorite.
I think you said both.
Okay. You're like, it's so many shows. It's too much. I will say this season's a little bit different and it's just, there's actually maybe two couples that they're following. It's not very many people. It's actually, it's, my heart is with the Golden Bachelor. What can I say? So we've
been watching Survivor. Brian's really into Survivor.
I'm like, a new thing or are you going
season.
Back? Okay.
So I think they release like 2 seasons a year or something.
This has got to be the longest reality show.
I think it's episode 40 something or season 40 something.
Yeah.
So they've been going for a long time. I'm moderately into it. Brian's really into it. So we're watching that together.
Okay.
And then I've gotten really into Amazing Race.
Oh,
Have you ever watched that?
Yeah.
This is the first, I think I maybe watched it like way back, but this is the first season as an adult that I'm watching it. And I want to go on that show.
You should. Oh my gosh, Austin.
Love to go on The Amazing Race.
You would be phenomenal.
Yeah, I would. Maybe Brian and I, or you and I.
Okay, I will hold you back for sure. Oh my gosh.
I think Brian and I would have a blast on it.
Absolutely.
And I want to do it so bad.
Oh my gosh, I actually think that would be amazing. So this is really funny because last night at Beer Star, we were with another couple and we started talking, what reality shows would you go on?
Yeah.
I was saying for the dating one, if I had to, for whatever reason, I would do Love Is Blind because I think that concept's great. But there was another show. I think there was maybe only one season of the show. It was called Take the Money and Run or something along those lines. Okay. And the premise was somebody, there would be like a couple and they would be given a briefcase of $100,000 and they had 1 hour to hide it. Then they were arrested, quote unquote, and they were held for 72 hours. They would be interviewed. The police or investigators, detectives would track where they had been. The detective's job was to find the money. The people that hid it, their job was to keep quiet, withstand 72 hours of questioning. And if they didn't find the money, if the detectives never found it, they got to keep it.
Really?
If they found it, or what would happen is people after 72 hours, 48 hours of being questioned would give up. They were like, this is too hard for me. They would wake them up at 2 a.m. to question them. They would withhold food, and they would just
like torturing them.
I mean, for $100,000?
Yeah.
Keep me for a week.
Yeah.
No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah.
But it was, to me, it was like such a fascinating show. And it was me. I think I was the only one that watched it. I think it was like
I've never heard of it.
No. And it was a while ago.
Okay.
But I was like, I think that would be so fun.
Yeah.
You'd have to be really clever about where you hid your money.
Yeah.
And they could track your phone. So you they would go to the places you'd been. They'd interview your friends and your family. Like, where do you think
you could go to the places you've been? That feels like it'd be.
Well, that's why you would leave your phone. Like, we would leave it here in the office, and then we would
go somewhere else.
But you only have an hour. So
interesting.
Yeah.
So can they plan it ahead of time, or do they?
Yeah, that's a great question. I don't know all that.
Yeah, rules. I need.
And it was a long time ago, so I could be making up some of these things. Like they maybe fed them or something. But I do remember somebody leaving only because they couldn't withstand the question.
Chinese water torture.
Like making up. Yeah. Yeah. So
sounds cool. So that would be your show.
I am so here for you being on Amazing Race.
I want to start the application. I don't even know how that works, but
we're gonna figure it out.
Yeah, I'm into it. Like I want to go back and watch previous seasons now. Like it's the mixture of like travel with like the challenges, and it's like it's up my alley.
You to a T.
I either want to be on it or I want to host it.
Okay.
So I don't know how long the host has been on before.
A lot of people. I don't want to brag about us, but a lot of people have been saying we could make good hosts.
Yeah,
maybe we could do a reality host show of some sort.
How was your weekend TV show?
We go out to the streets and we just ask the public.
Hey, random stranger, how was your weekend?
You're like, what? Why?
You won $1 million.
Go hide it. Just kidding.
Okay, so October screen time. I just want to look real quick.
Okay, here we go. The truth is revealed. Have you put into, because last week when you mentioned it, you were like, I'm not really sure what you were going to do to monitor.
Yeah.
You're maybe going to put your phone away at a certain time in the evening.
So yeah, I haven't done a lot of those things.
Okay,
yeah, I've definitely failed at this. Okay, so the previous weeks. Oh, it's down actually. This is great news.
Oh, I don't want to look at mine.
Okay, so the previous week, September 24. Oh my gosh, sorry. Okay, I should share what I'm seeing here. Okay, so September 17th through the 24th. So that was like a few weeks ago. Average daily screen time was 8 hours and 20 minutes.
Okay.
The following week was 6 hours and 24 minutes average daily screen time.
Better.
So that was the previous week. So that was right before I started the challenge.
Okay.
This past week, the average was 4 hours and 40 minutes.
That's crazy.
Wow. That is crazy. The worst night was Saturday. So that was the night where I sat on my phone for 3 hours after the party. But hey, it's getting better. This is good. I'm actually surprised.
Wait, but were you doing anything?
I've been more intentional about just like, well, part of it, I'm trying to game the system. So if I'm Google mapping somewhere, typically I'd have my phone up on the dashboard where I'm driving and then I can see it the whole time. Because I've been doing this challenge, I'll put it, down. So I'll lock it and I'll like only look when I need to kind of thing. Okay. So there's certain times where I would normally just have my phone up and I've been doing that less.
Gotcha.
But beyond that, when I'm going on walks, I'm trying to do less on my phone. So I'll be listening to a podcast rather than scrolling through social media if I'm on a walk. Yeah. So I've been doing little things, but I wasn't expecting it to actually be better. Okay. So that's great news.
How about, because you were saying in the evenings, you guys were going to try to find like a game or something to do. Are you finding anything you're liking?
We've been watching shows.
Okay. Yeah. Listen.
I think we've gotten invested in a lot of shows. So we haven't been looking for things to do because we either have our morning show, Survivor, or Amazing Race.
You've got something for every evening.
Yeah, pretty much.
I love that. Chad and I struggle in the evenings because usually what happens, I do all of the parenting in the mornings. Yeah. I do like getting them breakfast, getting them dressed, getting lunches made, taking them to school.
Yeah.
And then he does all of the evening, like bedtime routines, reading to them, snuggling. By the time, sometimes he'll fall asleep snuggling, and then I'll fall asleep waiting, and so we don't always get to connect and watch a show or anything.
Yeah.
So, but
do you have your own shows that you watch separately and then shows you watch together?
Oh, okay. Austin, I've got some shows. I
know you do. You have shows you watch together? Any of these? I'm guessing
show is the most recent. Okay. We also started last weekend. We started an episode, the Beckham David Beckham's documentary. He's a big documentary. Welcome to Wrexham. Have you seen that?
No.
With Ryan Reynolds.
No.
There's another partner. I forget his name. There's two actors who purchased a soccer team.
Okay.
That was like just this little town. And it's just a really sweet show. It's like how they've kind of like revitalized the town and helped grow this. Anyways, nice. But it's a documentary. It's sports. So it's like check for Chad. Yeah. I love being entertained with things that are like not real. Like to me, that's entertainment.
Yeah.
Like sports documentaries, that's real life. Yeah. I want something that like takes me away from reality.
Right.
So the shows and things that I like, he's not into.
Do you think that I would like documentaries? What would your thought be?
100%.
So I would think I would too.
I would think
but
you would.
I don't.
Interesting.
I haven't. A lot of times I'll be like, oh, I should put on a documentary. And then I watch the first 10 minutes. I'm not into it.
I am surprised at this.
I also, it might be a phone thing because I would just so much rather, even a show, I'd rather scroll through TikTok than watch a TV show.
Okay.
Like Saturday night when I was by myself, like I thought about putting on a TV show, but I don't know. There's nothing that I wanted to watch. I'd rather just like be on my phone. I don't know. It's weird.
Yeah.
Maybe
that is interesting.
I'm becoming, I think that's a big Gen Z thing is less TV, more just like being on their phone. So.
Well, I had a friend who is a teacher and they were saying, this is maybe a couple years ago now, but they were saying when they asked students what their favorite show was, at the time it wasn't actually a show, it was YouTube channels.
Yeah.
That's what they would be watching versus like, some sort of primetime TV show.
I can see that all of our attention spans are getting slower by the day.
I know, it's true. It's bad. Okay.
Cool. Well, I will not be here next week.
Okay.
I'll be in Mexico.
Yes.
So we'll skip a week.
That's going to be so fun.
I'm so excited.
You guys, can you give us a little rundown of what you're going to, do you want to wait till you come back?
I will give a little sneak peek. So the first, I think we're gone for 9 nights, which is a long time.
Amazing. That's actually such a good amount of time to be able to like actually unplug and relax.
I also think the days are perfect. So we leave a Thursday and we get back the following Saturday.
Okay.
Which I love getting home on a Saturday because then you have the whole day Sunday to get caught up, do laundry, just like prep for the week. In the past, I would like fly home Monday morning and I've done that before. I'd like fly home Monday morning, immediately head to the office and start the work week. And that is exhausting. So we get back on a Saturday, but we are on an island for the first like 4 or 5 days.
Okay.
It's called Isla Hobosh, I think.
Okay.
Which is, my parents have been there before. It's supposed to be just a little tiny, island. I think you get around on golf carts, so it sounds very cool.
That's amazing.
And then the second part, we are near Playa del Carmen, which is a little bit south of Cancun. Okay. So yeah, I'll give more of a recap afterwards.
I'm gonna live vicariously through you.
I'm so excited.
Is this an all-inclusive?
That's a great question. The first part I know definitely isn't, but I think the second part might be. I'm not sure. I don't know. But my mom has definitely taken the lead on planning this whole thing. So I think she has some good, fun surprises planned throughout.
Oh my gosh,
so,
I love that.
Yeah.
And it's your whole family.
Whole family, yeah, which is great. We haven't done a family trip like this in a while, it feels. I don't even know when the last one was. We've done family outings and things, but like a Mexico trip we haven't done in a while. So I'm excited. So I'll see you. I'll see you later this week, but I'll see you after Mexico too for this podcast.
Okay. Can't wait.
Thanks for joining me today.
Thank you.
Always a pleasure. So all right. Bye everybody. Episode 9 in the books.